Good morning. My name is Linda Kreipel, and I am utterly delighted to introduce to you Olivia Brown, my mentee. I have 3 words to describe Olivia, and they are unafraid, considerate, and exuberant.
I was told that a good faith statement was to be from the heart, not the head. You know, right with feelings and emotion, not with statistics or facts and stuff like that. Now, let me paint you a mental picture. Now, close your eyes and imagine a girl outside in the cold at retreat, wearing a sparkly fedora. Yes, I wore a sparkly fedora, writing in her journal with a pink pen, holding a red umbrella at Camp Hanashaw. Now that girl at that moment realized, man, it'd be great if I had my phone. That's when I realized I valued communication, because if I did have my phone, I'd be communicating with my friends, but probably not working on this faith statement. I also discovered I valued freedom of movement because we were supposed to stay in the same spot. It was then that I realized that you value things the most when you don't have them. That's where I value equality, because as a cis white person living in today's society, I get more opportunities than some others. But we're all people, so why can't we have the same opportunities? I also believe that we should be treated with respect and dignity, because if I want to be treated with respect and dignity, then shouldn't everyone else? I value equality, respect, and dignity so much that I started a gay-straight alliance at my school. And even though I have received some pushback from school officials, I believe that it is important to stand up and do something when others are being bullied or disrespected. People can make a positive difference. I believe that we are all connected to each other, and everyone has a shot at making a difference, whether good or bad. I also value the practice of democracy and not forcing your religion onto others. My family tree includes a variety of religions, and while not all of those, including my UU beliefs, would be welcome at those churches, I know all of my family would be welcome here, and that's important to me. As far as a God or what happens after we die, well, I'm not dead yet, so I don't know. And I think that I might need a little more proof to know if there is a God or not. Thank you, and have an amazing day.
Matt Ferguson was unable to be here this morning, and I was honored that he asked me to read this statement. Hello. I have the pleasure of introducing Theo. There are many words to describe Theo, but I have selected the following 3. Theo is bold, Theo is intelligent, and Theo is caring. Welcome. Congratulations.
So I'll admit it. I did not join this program willingly. But over time, I have grown to appreciate it. Throughout this program, I have come to understand myself much better, especially in terms of faith. I like to think of my faith as a rainbow, with each color representing a different part of me. Red stands for passion, a feeling that everyone experiences at some time or another. For some it's nature, for others it's sports, but for me, it's music. Listening, practicing, performing. I've been playing music since 3rd grade, when I took piano lessons for 2 years. Then I played percussion for 5 years and played the drum set during that time too. But it goes beyond the happiness of performing the song for others. There's the joy you feel from playing a song perfectly after months of long, hard work. Orange represents my dreamer mindset. I'm always thinking outside the bounds of reality, and I often catch myself listening to music and imagining a better world. I always take interest in the newest inventions out there, like autonomous car driving, or a laser that the Navy's developing, or even neurotechnology that the University of Chicago is developing. All of these are slowly developing our world, hopefully into a better place. Yellow stands for my humor. A a great gift that has allowed me to survive the long and grueling hours of school. It makes everything easier as long as I don't overuse it. You have to stay behind that invisible line between humor and annoying. But if it is used correctly, it'll make your teachers, your friends, and your family love you more. That is if they have a sense of humor. Green stands for my interest in nature and science. I've always been fascinated by the way the world works and have pursued it throughout my life. I've always tried my best in biology and science classes in general, knowing this will take me a long way in life. Although science is generally not a profitable line of work, as my dad constantly reminds me, money is not happiness. Although I used to believe you can buy anything with money, but I have come to learn that is not true. Blue represents knowledge and wisdom, the endless pursuit to know more about what and why and how. This has always driven me to do some of the things I am most proud of. It also has reminded me to not do some of the things I would not be proud of if I had not listened to my inner sense of right and wrong. It makes me choose when I should take a risk and when it's not worth it. It will hopefully allow me to lead a successful life and bring about change in the world. Purple stands for all the bad things that have ever happened to you. Whenever you feel as though you can't go on, the world is conspiring against you, you get a bad grade on a test. I don't know, maybe you fell off your bike because there was a bump there. But you have to remember that was all put there to remind you the world is not perfect. But all I do is remember that this depressing color of purple is only 1/6 of the emotions you'll ever feel in life. So yes, I am an atheist, but that does not mean I don't believe in anything, and it certainly does not mean I don't have values. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Marcia Cardy, and I have the pleasure to introduce Turin Lockman. My 3 words to describe Turin are caring, athletic, and thoughtful.
A couple months ago, I had to get 2 permanent teeth pulled for braces. As a result of this, I wasn't allowed to get my heart rate up or breathe heavily for the whole week afterwards. This meant no swimming, no running, nothing. It sucked. But this made me realize how much I value exercise. Similar things have happened. Going without something, then to realize how much I love and value it. I value good relationships, tasty food, especially burritos, travel, nature, the world, and all the privileges I have from being part of an amazing, stable family. And many more things, but I only have 3 to 5 minutes to present this faith statement. Aside from my values, I have what I like to call my rules for life. These are basically things I couldn't imagine not having in my life. I like to have fun and enjoy life, but if nothing was fun, it would be pointless. I need to have fun, but I also need to make sure to take other people's lives into consideration and make sure that me having fun isn't hindering their lifestyle in any way. I believe a good, fulfilling life means getting everything done and doing everything you want to do within your life. I only have one life, and I don't want to spend it sitting on the couch watching Netflix or fantasizing about some celebrity. I want to live it myself and do everything I can, like travel the world, climb a mountain, or bike across the United States. I want to immerse myself in nature and see everything there is to see, because I was lucky enough to be born into this amazing world, and I don't want to waste my privilege of that. I want to do all these things while I'm alive, because I believe that nothing happens when you die. You just die and decompose. Although I do think I will live on after death. Not physically or consciously, but in a sense that my legacy will live on in other people long after I die. I believe in a mixture of Unitarian Universalism and humanism. The 7 principles definitely pertain to my beliefs, such as every person having an inherent worth and dignity and the ability to have a free and responsible search for meaning, because I believe everyone deserves to have their own choice for what they want to believe in. I also think respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part of is an amazing principle, because everyone deserves to be treated with respect, whatever their background may be. On the humanism side, I would like to live my life fully and well. I strongly agree that ethical values are derived from human needs and interests, which further benefit the community and maximize individual happiness. I think the Big Bang created our Earth. Scientific approaches make the most sense to me, and I can't understand how else the Earth would have been created. I don't think that the Earth is made for humans, but that we are just a byproduct that is lucky enough and happens to be on the Earth. This drives me to protect and respect our Earth. I won't waste the life I have here attempting to get into another realm that I'm not even sure exists. So I'm going to make the most of the life I have right now. YOLO.
Hello, my name is Nicole, and I have the pleasure of presenting Carson. 3 words I would use to describe Carson are passionate, authentic, and courageous.
All right. So I'm Carson Shivers, like Nicole said, and for those of you who don't know, I'm transgender. When I was in 6th grade, I started to question if I actually identified as a girl. While I did cut my hair back then, I didn't give it much more thought. I had always been told, you're a tom girl, so I just started to go with that because that sounded pretty right back then. But it wasn't until halfway to 7th grade I decided to think more about the topic. I came to the conclusion that I definitely didn't identify as female, but I truthfully had no idea what I identified as. I had always been raised without many gender roles, and when I was little, I was told, play with who you want, it doesn't really matter. But when I went into middle school, that was when it started to matter. Everyone split into groups, and it was always separated by gender. Girls always liked the feminine things and stuck together, and boys were always the masculine ones. I think part of the reason I dropped the subject in 6th grade was because I thought, well, if I like anything feminine, I must be a girl. But recently, I've realized that isn't right at all. But when I saw this, I still had doubts. I was thinking, what would I tell my parents? What would other people think of me? Like, how would this change things in my personal life? I was worried what society would think of me, and I was scared of how people would react. But now I'm not scared to express this. This is me. I'm a boy. Well, I may not look masculine, but I definitely wish I did. And I still enjoy feminine things. I've seen that it doesn't matter. I believe that you should express who you are no matter what and not pretend to be what someone else wants you to be. None of us are here to spend our whole lives trying to meet society's standards. I may not be perfect, but it doesn't matter. I wear makeup, I dance, and overall, I'm a fairly feminine person. This does not make me any less of a boy. Don't try to fit yourself into the mold that society has made and just strive to be happy. And I may sound like another angsty teenager trying to go against everything because I don't fit in, but I swear that everything I've said in this is genuine. If we all just be ourselves, everyone could be a lot more happy and accepting, I think. Over this past year, I've learned so much about myself, and it has made me so much happier. Never think that people's views on you is more important than being true to yourself. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ben Spick, and it is my great honor to introduce to you Liam Stamper. If I were to describe Liam in 3 words, I would say that Liam is joyful, he is insightful, and he is centered. Congratulations, Liam.
Before I start, I would like to talk a little bit about my family. I live with both of my parents and 4 siblings in a loving and crazy household. I've grown up almost my whole life 1 or 2 blocks away from both sets of grandparents. They're all very important to my life. My grandparents on my father's side that are 2 blocks from my house are strong believers in Catholicism. Because of this, as a child, I went occasionally to a Catholic church, till over time my father decided that we don't just believe in the Christian faith and that we wanted more. So after a little bit of searching, we discovered the First Unity Church of Des Moines. That was more or less 4 years ago. Now we are active members of the church, go most Sundays to service, along with participating in coming of age, of course. Even though I haven't been in a Catholic church for multiple years, I still cherish the memories of the community. They shape me and how I define my religion, or don't, per se. That's why, if someone asks me what religion I am, instead of trying to come up with just a label, I like to instead tell them about my values. more specifically the values I believe in. I'm going to talk about a few this morning. I would like to start it off with the value caring. I chose to begin with this one because I think that everyone should care about others and not put people down or hurt others. I try my best to think of this at all times, even when I'm angry or hurt, and want to make others feel bad too. My mother is sitting in the audience right now, right there, and knows that I do work very hard to hold myself to this value. The second value I chose would have to be respect. I'm talking about respect in the sense of admiration, and overall just thinking of them as important and someone that I can look up to. I try to respect all people, especially adults, because I think everyone deserves to be treated right. This year, I had a hard time with one teacher in specific. At the beginning of the year, after a short time, I decided that she would be hard to get along with, so I thought to try to make her life harder, and I just did just that for a while. But I thought a lot about respect and figured out that I was the one in the wrong, not her. So I worked hard to fix it. Now we get along just fine, and I realize how much we have in common. This is why I think everyone deserves respect. My next and last value today is friendship. I chose to finish off with this today because I think it is one of the most important of all. Friendship can be described as a mutual connection between friends or family. In my mind, I think of it more as a bond that can't be broken and something that you cannot live without. Without friendship, I wouldn't know what to do. I like to do everything with my friends. For example, I'm currently on stage with a number of my friends presenting right now, and some are in the audience. I think humans could not live a complete life without friendship and connections, along with some of the other values I've said today. This is why I don't believe in or focus on one religion, but rather in a way of living my life. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Tedesco, and I am pleased and proud to introduce my mentee, Sean Morrow. In selecting 3 words to describe Sean, I chose intelligent, succinct, and witty.
Hi, my name is Sean, and I'm fortunate to have been raised in this church since birth. My parents didn't raise me under religion, so I was very exposed to it in the religious education program here at church. My parents felt it was important for me to know how others were raised and what they believed. During these classes, I never really started to align with any of the religions, but I did start thinking about questions such as, is there a God, and what happens after death? These were pretty big questions for my 5-year-old mind, so I tended not to think about it for a while. I feel privileged to be raised in a household that allowed me to explore all different religions and to attend a church that challenges you to think for yourself. Because of this, I turned to scientific evidence for my answers. I figured that something that has been tested and proven many times is more reliable than just taking someone's word for it. I have faith in scientific evidence even if the findings are frightening because it has never failed me before. This is one of my core beliefs that has shaped me into the person I am today. I had gained this faith in science before I started thinking about those 2 big questions. Is there God, and is there life after death? To find my answers and form an opinion on the matter, I went to a very reliable source, YouTube. I watched countless amounts of videos discussing God and the afterlife, but none of them could give me scientific evidence that a God exists. I'm open to the idea of a God, but I will continue to be skeptical until there is undeniable proof he or she exists. It's a comforting thought thinking there's always somebody looking out for us, but I think that we are all in control of our own lives. As for an afterlife, I have no reason to believe that we all go somewhere after we die. I believe death is just a part of life, and it's just a comforting thought that we will all be reunited with our loved ones. Since I don't believe in a God or an afterlife, I believe that we must cherish what we have now and learn to appreciate it. That's why I believe our duty as human beings is to touch as many people in a positive way and to touch as many people as we can in a positive way and to do our best to preserve this precious world. Thank you.
My name is Dan Purcell. It's my extreme pleasure to introduce to you Elliot. The 3 things that come to mind with Elliot is smart, team, good or bad, and family. Elliot.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elliot Alberhaski, and I'm here to talk about my faith. In my statement, I will talk about 3 topics that are very important to me. One thing that is important to me is that everyone should be treated equally. This is a topic I feel very passionate about because we are all humans and one race or religion shouldn't think they are better than any other group. I believe it is our civic duty to treat everyone the same regardless of their skin color, religion, gender, or any reason at all. It is important to me that we treat each other with kindness, compassion, generosity, and that we practice teamwork. I try to be including and treat everyone the same no matter what. Not only do I believe that everyone should be treated equally, but I feel that it is our duty to fight for justice for everyone. Another topic I feel very strongly about is how we should just focus on the now. We shouldn't worry ourselves about heaven or hell or being judged at the end of our life to see if we are good enough to not be tortured for eternity. It is important to me that I'm the best version of me that I can be. When I was younger, every time that I would get in trouble or do something bad, I would get very scared because I thought God was going to punish me. But when I got a little older, I realized that if there really was a higher power, then why would he or she make their creations suffer? That is why I think it's important to never worry about what will happen after you die. The truth is, I have absolutely no idea what will happen to us after we die. The only thing I know is that we should focus on what you're doing here on earth and try to be the best version of you that you can be. And perhaps the most important topic I will talk about is how we should establish healthy and solid relationships with the people around us. This is an important thing in my life because it is where my true happiness comes from. True happiness for me means talking and loving the people who are closest to me. The people that are most important to me are my family. To build healthy and strong relationships with my family, I try to spend as much time with them as I can. I watch and play sports with my dad and brothers, and I enjoy talking and playing games with my mom and my sisters. Although I can't fully tell you what happens after we die, I can tell you that it is extremely important to me that we treat each other with respect and equality. And it's also important that we establish healthy relationships with the people around us, and we should just focus on the now and not worry about the future. Thank you.
Hello.
I get to introduce you first, Chloe.
I'm so excited.
It's all right. It's awesome, isn't it? Good morning. I'm Denise Rathman. I had the privilege of serving as Chloe's mentor. And the 3 words that I would use to describe Chloe are open-minded, warm-hearted, advocate.
Hello. My name is Chloe Craig, and this is my faith statement. First, I would like to start off with things that I value. I value my friends and family because they have always been there for me. They've always had my back. They've always been my shoulder to cry on. I value my home because it has always been a place where I have felt welcome and safe. I value stories and storytellers for giving me the chance to be in another world for a while. I value supportive communities for lifting people up and helping them in time of need. I value the idea of saying I value religions or theories rather than saying I believe in them. And you'll notice that I use the word value a lot more than I use believe, and that's because I have a hard time committing to one religion, faith, theory, or idea because I find value in them all. For example, a teaching from Prophet Muhammad, one should not harm himself or others. I value that strongly. All of those religions, faiths, theories, and ideas each hold a different value to me. I found a word one day while I was online, omnism, the belief that no religion is truth, but that truth can be found in them all. If I had to describe myself using one word, it'd be omnistic. And as far as a higher power goes, I'd like to think that the earth is a or the higher power, that the force of nature is God, that the earth puts things into place for us purposely, things happen for a reason. As a small kid, I wanted to join a church. All of my friends went to church. I wanted to try it out for myself. Now, all these years later, I am so happy with the community that my family and I found. And even though I am not set in my beliefs, I know that the UU community is the one I belong in. To conclude my faith statement, I'm not exactly sure what it is I believe in, what I put my faith into, and I kind of like it that way. I will remember coming of age, the friends I've made in this group, the things we've done, and I cannot wait until my siblings are old enough to join. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jim Carty. I was the mentor of Dylan Foreman. Dylan, every Wednesday, you were my world. And so with that, the 3 words I describe Dylan are earth, air, fire, and water. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dylan Foreman, and I have been attending this church since I was 1, and we moved here from Boston, Massachusetts. So, this is my faith statement. Ever since I was a little boy, I have believed in some kind of higher power. However, I never really believed in the concept of a traditional God, like other organized religions. Though, a lot of my friends at the time believed in a God, so I thought, why not? I heard the story of Adam and Eve, but when I learned how babies were born, I was like, yeah, no. Now that I'm older, I'm starting to think for myself and form my own ideas about what I actually believe instead of what my family and peers think. The coming of age class has helped me think about all of these ideas like religion and faith. Without this class, I probably would have never taken the time to think about religion or faith. And to be honest, I'm still seeking answers to my spiritual questions. For example, I do not believe in a God. I believe that we as people need to do things in this world instead of waiting for a God to fix everything for us. One of my core values that I live by is to be a person of action. You can say whatever you want, but it will never matter if you don't ever act on what you say. Another value I cherish is honesty. I would rather have someone tell the truth to my face, possibly get angry, and eventually work through it, as opposed to the person going behind my back and then finding out later. I believe in science, evolution, the Big Bang, and the power of nature. While I may believe something completely different from my family, my friends, and others, I accept other people's beliefs, no matter what they choose to believe, because in the end, we are all just humans searching for meaning in a confusing world. We are all the same. Religion should not affect how we are seen as people, but we should be seen for what we do. I do not believe that we should need a reward at the end of life to motivate us to do good in the world. I believe we should just be good people because it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bill Brock. You've already met Quinn Emma Sinclair and his beautiful singing voice. 3 words that I would use to describe Quinn are fearless, loyal, and passionate.
Thank you.
What do I believe? I'm sure that's what you're all wondering right now. Well, in all honesty, I'm wondering the same thing. Since the beginning of my memories, I have attended this church and I have met some of my best childhood friends here. Because I was blessed with the gift of this church from a young age, religion has always been a choice for me. I guess it is because of this that I choose to identify myself with certain values rather than box myself into one religion or set of beliefs. In that sense, what I truly value is how you spend your life. I believe all people should be kind, generous, and compassionate, and I try to reflect this belief in all aspects of my life. In addition to this, I believe in the Big Bang. In my eyes, there is no way to refute science, and I believe the Bible, although it may be based on real people or events that hold some truth, is primarily stories created to explain things we cannot explain. Despite this, I do believe that there must be something out there that is greater than we are, or some sort of deity. I prefer to consider this as a being of God. If God does exist, I prefer to believe that he is all-loving and does not care whether you are Christian, atheist, gay or straight, African American or white, male or female. I choose to believe that he loves all equally despite their differences and disabilities, no matter how big or small. One big question that is asked about religion is, what do you believe happens after you die? Well, I don't know exactly. Many accounts from people who have died and come back say they saw a tunnel that had a light at the end, or the person that they loved most in life. However, I do know that if there are many questions to ask about the topic. If heaven does exist, is everyone let in? Is everyone the same age? Is everyone truly happy? Are the people who may have struggled with a disability, sickness, or some other ailment cured of it? Does everyone live forever? Given what I believe and what I don't believe, I would consider myself both a Christian and a humanist. However, I believe that you can find traces of truth in all sets of belief, and there's no right or wrong answer. Lastly, I just want to thank everyone here for not only listening to me for the last few minutes, but for being a part of the congregation that has shaped who I have become as a person.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew ya. He tied you to the kitchen chair. She broke your throne, she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, maybe there's a God above, But all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.